Good morning, everybody. This is Marius Landman from Brisbane, Australia, coming to you all the way. Beautiful day here in the morning. And Tertius, are you there?
Yes, I am, Marius, receiving you loud and clear.
Oh, wonderful, man. And thank you for everybody that's on the line here. I can't mention all the names here, but Bill, Abby, Ardan, Anna. Probably starts with the alphabet, and we can go all the way from A to Z. Guys, no, really welcome to the call. And today is going to be really amazing. Everything is good in the crypto world, and we are just waiting for that one elusive little spike which can make us all really good money. So yeah, Tertius, uh, so how's your voice, Tertius? You feel good? Because you had a bit of felt a bit sick yesterday.
Yeah, the voice is a lot better. Unfortunately, got a bit of a flu, but been well diagnosed, and the antivirals are kicking in. So we're very grateful for that. Thanks, Marius.
Wonderful, man. Yeah, nobody realized last week, but last week I was like just borderline getting a little bit of a flu, but I'm also over that. So no, that's good. When you hear my voice dip a little bit, and I start talking like with a rasp in my voice, that's when things don't go well. But no, thank God everybody is good and everything is going well. Yeah, guys, let's quickly get into things here. We've got the Litecoin chart up here. But I think the first thing that I want to do, let's quickly go. I'm logged into my PythonSignals account. We predict that by the end of this year, Tertius, that we would have paid out about $5 million in Bitcoin commissions. Wow. And guys, you really, yeah. And Tertius, what's happening in West Africa, in Ghana and Nigeria. And that is one of the reasons, guys, why we're drilling water wells there as well, because there's money coming in from those areas. But those areas are growing phenomenally, 30 to 40 people a day subscribing in PythonSignals. So just look at the numbers in your back office, how it's going, Tertius. It's unbelievable.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're really looking forward to this market update. And Marius, once again, thank you for all the updates that you're doing. I've noticed that a couple of guys have resubscribed recently. Guys, don't let your subscriptions lapse, eh? It's one thing to keep an eye on the market and think you're going to time your subscription. Don't go there. It takes time to understand where we're going, what's happening. And Marius, we're very grateful for the analysis that you and the team do and keeping us up to date. So thank you very much.
That's great. Thank you, Tertius. That's wonderful. Guys, so when we start here, I quickly want to have a look here on the left-hand side. Now, most of you actually know, especially the new people, you can go to your dashboard, My Account, Network, and just look on the left-hand side where my mouse is, Finance, Downloads. But then there's a thing there called Blog. So if you click on Blog there, my data is just a little bit slower here. What you are going to find is you're going to find, if you scroll down, the funny thing is, guys, I spoke to somebody yesterday, Tertius, and the guy said to me, he clicks on Blog, but he only sees one post there. And I said to him, look, take your mouse, and on your mouse is a little wheel, and take your finger and you scroll down. And he scrolled down and he went like, I have been in PythonSignals for 3 months. I have never seen that. Guys, come on, we just need to have a little bit of common sense. And he actually laughed about it. I laughed about it too. There's no animosity on him. But, sometimes some people just don't see it. And, in all fairness, he's also an older gentleman. But, with the young kids, everybody grew up in school, had computers. But many people that are 60 and 70 years old don't know these kind of things. But anyway, nonetheless, guys, Tertius, when we go down here, this is the new blog post that we posted. That is the Litecoin heartbeat. And when you click on this, you say continue reading. Then what you're going to have is you're going to have this here. Now, if you want to make that screen larger, Microsoft has got something. See this one here. Now, and this is just for people who don't know. Many of you may know it. You just click on that one there. And you can actually make it larger. Because people ask me, why are we posting it's in such a small font? Guys, it's
Yeah.
because you can make it larger as well. You know, you can make that image larger. Look, you can make that image this large. So now you can see what's happening here. So in this specific blog post, and I just quickly want to go through this now, we're going to look at Litecoin at the 4-hour chart, and then we're going to go have a look at Litecoin on the day chart, followed by a Bitcoin update. Now, mostly all altcoins are expected to follow the Litecoin chart pattern for the next few days. It's not going to be like this forever, but for the next few days. And I would probably say, guys, that for the next 30 days, most likely, Litecoin will be the leader. Everything else is following Litecoin. Now, Litecoin is expected to have a strong move upwards into green box C. That's about 104 to 118 range. So if you go down, you have a look and see where's box C. There is box C. See there where it says C? So what I'm saying is that with all this downtrend, and you guys remember we follow that algorithm pattern, 100% accurate with the pattern. Remember that the pattern is 100% accurate. The date can move on. And remember, guys, I say that in every single call, that the date can move on. We play the pattern. Remember this diagonal line here. Look on the chart there where my mouse is now. That diagonal line. That was the line that we followed from way back here in July and said that Litecoin and all cryptos are going to follow that line and come here at a certain point here on the bottom. It's going to turn around and move back upwards. Now, you won't be able to identify this spike that's coming in technical analysis or Elliott wave or any other technical indicator that you are using. This is an algorithm change in the pattern of cryptos. Now, whether my call is going to be right or not, we will see in the next 24 to 36 hours, maybe over this weekend. Now remember this, guys, for Litecoin to break out, it has to break every single indicator, which is basically unheard of if that happens. So as you read through this, you know, where I say have a look at green box C, go down to the chart, have a look, and you'll see what we say on the chart. Then I'm saying this could be a strong vertical breakout. If this occurs, it will be the final move to complete the Litecoin heartbeat. And guys, go and have a look at about almost here, I want to say about January, February. At the end of January, going into February, March. That at that point is when I said that we are going to have this heartbeat. Go back, the videos are there, the videos don't lie. And you can't fake the videos. I can't go and fake a video and put it up now and say that is the time we put it up. In YouTube, it'll show you the date that's there. So it shows you how good our analysis is, the best in the world, that we could predict what is happening now 4 or 5 months ago. Now, what we are about to see goes against all trading and analysis, Elliott wave theory, and basic technical chart patterns. Litecoin has still not touched the point A, which is the algorithm line. Remember this algorithm line that I'm pointing down there? There's point A. So always go back to the chart and have a look at that. And such a move downwards, and what I'm saying here is that be prepared also that there could be a small move downwards. And you've seen now overnight that all cryptos have made that little bit of a drop. And I don't believe it's going to touch this line. There's too much volume, too much strength, not necessarily volume, my apologies, but too much strength in cryptos that will push all cryptos upwards. And these are the things, guys. There's no technical indicator that show you the strength in cryptos. Because if you put a volume indicator on, you're going to find that the volume in all cryptos are very low. But what those indicators don't show, it doesn't show all the people that bought and are holding and not selling. People are not selling their cryptos. What is the reason why people are not selling their cryptos? It's because they believe in it. And that belief is a subjective item. It's not objective. Objective is when I say to you, right in front of me, there are 2 watermelons. And when I say to you, those watermelons taste good, that is subjective because I haven't tasted it yet. But if you can see it, that's objective. So the subjective information is what we have in our data. We measure the strength, people holding, the belief in cryptos. So guys, it's an all-time high. Nobody's going to sell their cryptos. And I'll soon tell you what I've seen in the market. What's happening with I might just get into this quickly now, Tertius. There's a company in Brisbane actually that contacted me and said, listen, we see you guys are very big in cryptos, and we're going to present you some data. We're going to show you a new internet, sign a NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. You can mention this, but don't give all the details. And guys, what is coming next is going to blow your socks off your feet. Tertius, what is happening is that there's a new internet that doesn't work with telecom lines. It doesn't work with satellites in the air. It doesn't use that at all. What it uses, guys, is electricity. All you need to do, you just need to be in close proximity of an electrical outlet or a cable without being connected to it, and you have blatantly fast internet. Now, you can be in the Sahara Desert as long as you have an overhead electrical line and you are in close proximity, you will have internet connection. Now, what they also showed me is that the coding strings of Microsoft, C++, Python, all those software is so outdated. And I had a look at new coding strings, which are so short, different symbols. It looks as if it's from an alien planet. And the new internet will be built on this facility. Now, the reason, Tertius, why I'm mentioning this is because it's got to do with cryptos. Cryptos will not disappear. As a matter of fact, cryptos are going to 2.0. It's going to become better. And they plan to implement a lot of this data over the next 3 years and a rollout of about 20 years. Now, guess what? Your current iPhone, the fastest iPhone or Samsung phone that you have, is 1,000 times too slow to handle the internet. That is the problem. Hardware in the world, there's no hardware in the world that can handle the new internet. It's too slow. There's no phone. Now the new phones, the new phones that are already being used. Think about this, guys. You hold your phone and you can see it, you can touch it, you can feel it. But the new phone, you're not holding it. It's just there around you. You've got an armrest or you've got a chip in your hand. And most of you, think about this now, as you go further, think about what a certain book says, what happens at the end of the world. And as long as you are connected then with this chip, you give it a command and you say, phone, and the phone pops up in thin air. And you give it commands, but you don't verbally have to speak it out. You can just, with a thought, say, bring up my crypto wallet by thinking it. And it brings up your crypto wallet connected to your DNA. Guys, I've seen it. If I didn't see it, I wouldn't have believed it. The technology in the world around us is so far advanced that cryptos still have to catch up with it. The reason I'm mentioning this is because the wealth transfer that is busy happening in the world is about to turn radical upwards. Anyway, so a little bit, not enough about that. But we do expect, if we go back to Bitcoin now, that we could have a bit of a drop, but we're looking for that uptrend there. Now, guys, as we look at this chart here now, this is the daily chart. So you can see that from that top, Litecoin basically came down, and if you look at this ABC correction there, the correction is now complete right to that point there. We are now just there. What comes next, in my opinion, and I really hope, guys, that we are correct. I don't want to make a bad call like this and then it doesn't work, but our data does show that there's a big move upwards. It's going to form a bit of a, let's say, like a hedge at the top. We're going to have a drop. It's going to come back in D, and then the big breakout starts here. There will not be a big breakout now. This will kind of be like a fake breakout. You're going to see that everybody's going to say, oh, there we go, XRP to the moon, EOS to the moon, Litecoin to the moon, and just for the market to come back and drop back there. So it's an ideal opportunity, if this works out, that you can sell a small percentage of your holdings at the top there. You can come back and buy it on the bottom, specifically Litecoin, and then ride the wave up. Not all the coins, very important to understand. And let's go to the charts here. Let me bring up this Litecoin chart, the day chart. Not all the coins are going to move up the same. You know, about a year ago, many of you that were part of PythonSignals, you can remember that I did one chart. It was the Bitcoin chart. And then I said, all altcoins will follow the same pattern. It doesn't work like that anymore, guys. More or less, they will follow the same trend, but the patterns will be a little bit different. So in this case with Litecoin, this is the live chart for Litecoin. You can see we're on the bottom there. There's that red candle, that drop there that we were talking about. It could come a little bit lower, but in the next 4 or 5 hours, it could turn back upwards. And within the next day or two, we expect a breakout there. If that breakout doesn't happen the next day or two, it's just going to move on slightly. But we do expect a move up in box C. Let's quickly go to Ethereum, and I'm just going to show you this one. Now, take a note of what you see on this screen now, and let's move to Ethereum quickly. Now, can you see how different Ethereum is? Almost the same trend line, but we've got an uptrend here, a bit of a downtrend there. And luckily for us, guys, see that loop? Let me just zoom in there, and then we can see it better. Remember with the trend line, we said it will come up and it will drop and then head upwards here into this box here, this blue box, where it's actually a consolidation phase. Now, in terms of our algorithm, we actually call this a POA, a pattern of advances. So whenever you see in our documentation or reports where you see a POA, it just means a pattern of advances. What happens at that point there is that you kind of get like either a flag pattern, or you get which we call a symmetrical triangle. And what happens there, just to give you a little bit more detail for those people who want the detail, let me just show you what happens there. And I'm just going to use the Elliott wave impulse, which is not the right one to use, but it's nice for visual purposes. So you get it like this. And then you get your fifth wave there, and then that actually breaks out. And let me just make that a little bit darker so we can see that. So what is then expected is to have a pattern of advances of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get a breakout here at that point. Now, I'm not going to draw it in exactly like it is. We're just going to give you a pattern. The pattern shows this is what happens. Okay, so as long as we follow that pattern, we will be good. You can see now it's going to start turning around, going upwards, and long term, what happens with Ethereum, just to give you the long-term view here, is that you're going to see this line here, which is the Python y-axis. See that one there? That Ethereum is going to break that level there at about $330. That will be a big resistance, 320, 330, around there. But what happens here is that there is a resistance line which comes almost from approximately this area there, and it goes straight up here to that point. There is going to be a big resistance point at about 540, around about this level here. And at that point, we do believe that Ethereum is going to break out upwards and literally head into $1,000 Ethereum and more. So guys, that's just a little bit of Ethereum. Tarsius, without me talking too much, we've gone through Litecoin now as well as Ethereum. I don't know if there are any questions so far.
Marius, an interesting one that came up is somebody was saying, you know, Digibyte, we're very positive and bullish and positive about Digibyte. But what are the fundamentals behind that? Perhaps you could just explain. I know Digibyte is one of the older coins. It's got a very wide distribution as a coin, but why is it that we believe so much in Digibyte? And I see a couple of folks are asking about Neo and EOS as well, which are a bit alternative, newer coins. But perhaps just go into that for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as you can see with Digibyte, let's just zoom out a little bit. Okay, Digibyte is one of the coins that we keep in our portfolios. Now you can see here, right here, if we go back to March, even here, December 2017, let me just see what have I got there. There we go. That's the high point where Bitcoin was at the all-time high, and you can see that Digibyte was one of the coins that actually dropped very quickly. And it's been in this pattern now. See those two red lines there, forming a wedge that is about to break out at that point there. So we had a breakout, a failed breakout, let's say here December 2018. And I'm going to zoom into this area here now. So that was the breakout there. It's supposed to break out a lot higher. And then it formed this little channel here, which surprised me actually that Digibyte went sideways and not much upwards. Now let's zoom in, and you're going to see now at this point here, that low point, that Digibyte is almost at the low point of 15 December 2018. Now, one of the reasons why Digibyte is so sought after. Remember, Digibyte is an old coin. I think it was got operational here in 2013, 2014, somewhere around there, maybe 2014. So that's about 5 years now. One of the oldest cryptos. Now, Digibyte doesn't have a single point of failure in its application. Now, we can go into so many reasons here, Tarsius, why this is a preferred coin. But the worldwide adoption in Digibyte over the last 5 years, where people are not really selling their Digibyte but keep accumulating, is a very good thing for Digibyte without getting into technical things there now. Now, I've spoken to Aman, who is the head of Digibyte a few times, and we've gone into applications where they use Digibyte. It's surprising actually that it's not so widely known where people are using Digibyte. But we can probably do a very nice blog post about Digibyte and give you those facts without mentioning it here now, because we also need to go and just do research and bring the factual points in. I just haven't got it on the point of my tongue here now. But from a perspective, I can tell you this now, that Fidelity, who is a very big investing firm, is buying Digibyte. And you've probably seen some of my tweets. I've got a direct contact with a person at Fidelity, and they are buying Digibyte bit by bit by bit every single day. So the institutions are behind this as well. Now, one of the things that we're going to see with Digibyte is this. Remember I said don't buy Digibyte yet. We're holding back on Digibyte. I believe that Digibyte, after this drop here, is going to go upwards into this level here, somewhere there. Somewhere there will be a high point at point D here, and then we're going to have a drop here. And at that drop there is going to be a big buying opportunity. See this red line here? And we've had that red line there now for weeks actually, where we said it's going to drop down slightly to a potential lower point. Now, don't get me wrong. Look at this, guys. There's your 100% gain. But if it only does this, it does about a 56% jump. It could do more. But if you hold Digibyte, you may want to sell about 10, 20, or 30% on that high you come back here and you buy it on the bottom here, and we are going to see that big breakout here. What drives Digibyte, the price of Digibyte upwards, is something that we we'll probably discuss that probably in the next webinars. I don't want to give the information out now yet, otherwise many analysts will probably get this data. But once we break, see this diagonal line that we put up there? Once we break this line here, this point here, guys, it's going to take off like literally like a rocket. And that point there is about 0.024. Let me just put that in. Round about this figure here. But you don't want to buy here, guys. You don't want to buy there. You want to buy here on the bottom. Now, remember what I said, I haven't bought all my Digibyte yet. I have got Digibyte. I'm keeping it. I'm not selling it, you know, but I will, at this point here, sell out of some positions in Litecoin and Ethereum and come back here and buy Digibyte. From what I see, I believe that Digibyte could also be, it's one of the last coins really that actually breaks out, but it gains momentum and it surpasses many other coins, although it's slow. And you're going to see when it breaks out, just to give you an idea, it goes something like this, like very violent up down moves, big spikes up, big spikes down, and then you see like big spikes like this, and it just breaks through and then it gets going. So guys, Digibyte is a very good coin. I would love to tell you why, but we'll do it in the blog post rather.
Yeah, Marius, while you are there, you know, we've shown it on Litecoin, we've shown it now on Digibyte, the possibility of farming more coins. And I know we've got a lot of new folks that have joined us. A lot of folks don't really understand what we mean by farming. So perhaps just explain to the guys. You said take a percentage, maybe 20% or 30% of your coins, sell at the top, buy at the bottom. Why do we call that farming? Just explain that to the guys, please.
Okay, cool. Now, guys, look where the price is now. Remember the price of Digibyte is now there, where my mouse is now. So let's put an arrow in there. There's the price. Okay. Now, let's say I take, I'm just going to round the numbers off, you know. So let's say if I buy 500 Digibyte. Okay, I buy it in the bottom here. Now, let's assume that the market goes up 100%. Now, if the market goes up 100%, you still have 500 Digibyte. You haven't made a profit on your Digibyte. You still have the same amount of Digibyte. But let's say, for example, to buy this 500 Digibyte, I'm just giving you a figure here now, guys. You know, it's not really the truth with regard to data, but let's say that costs you $40. If that goes up $100, I'm just going to duplicate this. That means that your dollar value is now $80. Okay? So remember this, you've got 500 Digibyte here on the bottom, you bought it now, but you still have 500 Digibyte at the top, but your dollar value was 40, it went up 100%, now you've got $80. Now if you sell that $80 here, if you sell that, what happens now is that you're out of the market now, but you've got $80. So now you wait till the market comes down, till Digibyte comes down to that little point there. Now, if you buy Digibyte again, or let's say at the same level where you bought it here, if you buy Digibyte there again, how much Digibyte are you going to have now? Remember, you doubled it now. Now you have 1,000 Digibyte on the bottom. Now the market goes up to that same level again, another 100%. Now suddenly, you still have 1,000 Digibyte, but guess what? What is your dollar value now? Your dollar value has doubled now again. So now your dollar value is 160. And that's how you turn $40 here into $160. Now that is what we call farming. Same principle if we go back to Litecoin. Let's go to the Litecoin 4-hour chart. Now, if you take your Litecoin here on the bottom, if you buy it now and you sell it on the top there. Now remember what we said? We believe that Litecoin is going to have some sort of a pattern of advances there. It's going to drop once, it's going to come back again, it's going to drop again, go sideways, and then spike big. Okay, forget about the timeline on the bottom. The timeline here may not be accurate, okay, because although it may actually be, but that is more or less what you're going to see. So what you do, you buy on the bottom here, you sell on the top. You buy on the bottom here, you sell on the top. And then you come and you buy here, and you just ride the wave up. Now, that is farming, because remember this, guys, the goal is to increase your Litecoin holdings. Don't worry about the dollar value. It will take care of itself. We said it from the beginning of the year. There are people that only trade Litecoin. And one specific guy started in the beginning of this year. Let me give you this extraordinary result with 54 Litecoin. He focused on Litecoin by buying and selling, buying and selling. When I spoke to him on Monday this week, and I don't think he's on this call, he may be on the next call. But this specific person now has 1,250 Litecoin from 50 something Litecoin. So guys, sometimes if you focus on one coin, and if there is a coin that you want to focus on to make extraordinary money, you can do it here with Litecoin. Okay, so you imagine from here on the bottom, you double your coins up till there. You come back and you do it again. You can literally double your coins, come back, double it again. So keep that in mind. Sometimes if you focus on too many coins, like 20 or 30 coins, you miss big opportunities. And this is why we are teaching our members all around the world to have approximately 7, 8, 10 coins. Guys, I literally trade 3 or 4 coins. I still have positions in others, but there are certain coins that I trade, like Litecoin, for example. As a matter of fact, yeah, okay, I won't go into that. But Tertius, yeah, any other questions on that?
No, there was one other good question. We noticed during some of the blog posts, you mentioned theta. And why is theta suddenly on the horizon in the top 5 or 6? Did something happen? Any news on that one?
We've been tracking theta or theta, THETA. We've been tracking that for a while now, guys. But theta is one of the coins that are poised to bring in the new internet. Now, we are not suggesting that you hold a huge amount of that in your portfolio, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%, and you hold it long term. And of course, if we say long term, what I want people to realize is when you hold theta, if it does a high point, take your profits and come back and buy back on the bottom again. Trade it up and down, but don't hold too much of that in your portfolio. But long term, there are 2 coins long term that I suggest that people really must hold. And the other coin is IOTA, which is the same, guys, as theta. So we're just bringing theta in. Now, from memory, theta has been in our model portfolio. I can't remember if it's there now, but or either in the top 40 cryptos.
Yeah, it's in the top, definitely in the top 40 cryptos. We just, the question was just why all of a sudden it was recommended. Did something happen? But yeah, good explanation. Thanks, Marius.
Yeah, Tertius, and may I just mention, guys, remember last week or the week before on the live webinar, I said there are 2 coins that we are going to bring into the top 5. And you can actually add theta to that, but let me just clarify, don't hold too much in theta. But just for those people who hold theta, that'll give you a bit of confidence. Theta, IOTA, what is the other one? NEO, EOS. Guys, those are great coins, and BNB. That's correct, yeah. So a small percentage of your portfolio. Let me just see if I can bring this up here. Let me just, oops, where is that? There we go. Okay, now have a look at this, guys. This is, keep these 10 coins in your portfolio, the top 5, that's Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, Digibyte, Bitcoin Cash, and then obviously Bitcoin. But NEO, EOS, BNB, great coins. And then the other ones here are Wax, AGI, Walton Coin, IOTA, and OMG. And we can probably add here on the bottom a combination of, and we can probably add this Theta here as well. But some people, if you want to hold Theta in the top 5, there's no problem with that. You can exchange Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, Digibyte, or Bitcoin Cash and change that to Theta. I personally wouldn't do it, but because I see more gains in Digibyte, XRP, Litecoin. But at some point, you want to get out of XRP anyway, so you can put Theta in there as well. Don't disregard BNB. Very good. I know there's a lot of FUD going on, fake news as well with regard to BNB, Binance. Many people are saying that CZ is going to get sued and all sorts of stuff. Guys, let me just tell you, BNB Binance has got so much money. I mean, you talk of a guy that's wealthy beyond belief. Have a look at the BNB post that we did. The big banks, of course, will want to knock BNB down as quick and hard as they can. But if you see BNB break upwards, it's not just going to go 500%. It's going to go a lot more. So keep a really good eye on BNB. Anyway, there is the top 10 coins. Under the top 5, we added Theta. There's another coin that we are looking at. I am still validating data on that. Let's just quickly have a look at Wax, AGI, and Walton Coin. Guys, it's very important that you still hold Wax, AGI, and Walton Coin. Whether you put in $500 or $1,000, don't put too much in these coins. Wax, AGI, and Walton Coin, if you put $1,000 in, remember I think here in the beginning of the year we said don't put too much in, put between 500 or 1,000. Those coins are only there that when they spike, you take your profits and you pay off your credit card, you pay off your loan, you pay off your car loan. Because one of these coins could easily spike 6,000% very quickly too. It can do it today. It can do it in the next month. As a matter of fact, in the next month, here by the end of September going into October, watch these 3 coins very closely. So the whole goal with that is to pay off your debt. When you see a profit, when you see it rise in price, it's not a bad idea to take profit. So Tertius, yeah, there we go. Let's get into other coins. Anything else?
While you were there at the top 10 coins for the portfolio, a while back, we did mention that guys could follow a buy and hold strategy. And one of the questions that was sent to me earlier in the week was, could we perhaps just discuss that buy and hold strategy especially with your blog post coming out this week about Bitcoin going where it is and Litecoin? Should the guys that have bought on that buy and hold portfolio be looking to liquidate some of them and maybe buying something else, or is the buy and hold still a good strategy to follow?
Yes, absolutely, guys. This is where men get separated, from the mouses. What you do when you have a buy and hold strategy, you hold. And for that, I'm going to show you quickly this one here. This is the overall chart for Bitcoin. Now, I'm not going to go into the bottom here and show you all these waves, but let's focus on where we are now. We predict in our algorithm, and guys, we actually did this 2 years ago, where we predicted these uptrends, downtrends, uptrends, and you can go back 2 years ago to we call it the granular cycle. We're coming here to the top of the granular cycle, but guess what, guys? That is not even the top. Okay, you're going to see, perhaps in my opinion, you're going to see a move down, and then you can see a spectacular move upwards, which will blow out Elliott wave yet again. And Tertius, that actually is going to be, let me just put this in here. See, that's wave 5. That'll be wave 6, unheard of. What am I doing? That will be 6 there. And then we're going to have a final wave, which is wave 7 there. What is happening? Okay, 7 there. But guys, please don't post this information on social media. You know, we spend the whole week here with people in PythonSignals requesting them to take off pictures and images off Facebook. 23 cases. You know, don't do that, man. You know, please don't post these things out. Because let me explain this to you. There's the banksters, the elite, they are focusing on what we are doing because we've got the largest collective subscription base in the world, 14,000 members in total now. Not just PythonSignals, but other platforms. Remember, before PythonSignals, I had a very big business, which is still a big business and still growing. So, and eventually PythonSignals is going to take over and become the world's largest crypto community with 1 million members. You will see that happen in your lifetime. And this is why I say, guys, if you post our information out, the elite, the thugs, the manipulators, they see what we show you, and they will do everything possible to turn the market around and do other stuff or manipulate everything that we do. So keep it private. This is why there's a username and password. If we wanted you to post that information out, we wouldn't have given you a username and a password. So think for yourself, guys. And unfortunately, you know, if that information becomes public, you know, it's just bad, okay? So let me show you the long-term view here. From this bottom here, on 15 December 2018, we had this leg going upwards. We've got this leg now in the downturn. The leg is now finished, in my opinion. I don't believe that we are going to go lower. But keep in mind, there is a probability that we could still touch a lower point over the next 24 to 48, maybe 70 hours. But this is the rattles in Bitcoin. When you get right down to the bottom, think about this now. If you drive a very fast car and you're in one lane and you want to turn around while the car is driving really fast, you have to make some adjustments. You have to slow down. You have to turn around the car. It doesn't happen in 1 second. Okay, so those are the rattles that is happening in Bitcoin. What you're now going to see is a big move upwards, and this is why I say, can you see how minute it really is, Tertius, in terms of the big view picture? That minute drop there took most coins, like for example, let's have a look at EOS. It took EOS from $8 right down to $3. But if you know what comes next, it doesn't matter. You simply buy, you hold, because you think for the long term. You think for the long term. You can buy it here, you can hold it here as well. There's a big drop coming. You just hold through the drop. It goes again. You just simply hold. So that's what we call with buy and hold. Up to this point here, the high point. I'm not saying that high point is 1.3 million. I'm just saying that is going to be a very, very big high point. We won't disclose where that is, but there's a 7th wave coming. So you can see now that if you hold, for example, EOS, let's say if you bought EOS at $6 there and it's now $3 here, you simply hold because EOS is going to go to $20, $40, $100, $200, and then it drops back to $100. I'm just giving you an example. Now you hold again, bang, it goes up $400. It drops again to $300. There it goes to $1,000. So the buy and hold strategy is something that we just came out with and said to people, if you don't want to trade, then you can use a buy and hold strategy. You will still make money. And guess what? There's a few people on this call probably that do that as well. They may have a portfolio split up in two. 80% of the coins is coins they trade, 20% are coins that they just simply hold. And we suggest that as well, guys. Remember this, guys. I've got coins that I simply hold as well. Let me give you an example with Neo. Neo is one of the coins that I just simply love. Uh, we bought it here at a very low point. We bought and constantly buying, buying, buying. Okay, we did sell here at the top there. Remember, we had in the top 40 crypto report, we said when it comes to this date point here, which is that date point here of 15 October. Remember that? That high point there? That's all marked up in the top 40 crypto report. And we said when it comes to that point, that is the high point. And that's why I sold at that point there. Now, did I sell everything? No. I think we sold 75 or 80%. So I still kept 20% in there. But as the market went down, I bought and I bought and I bought and I keep on buying at lower prices. Because I'm not concerned about Neo, because Neo is going to go to over $500. You may not believe it now because it's $8. But guys, we can see the future of Neo. So that's why I say with that 20% that's left there, we probably could have sold it, but you simply hold it. Again, guys, take this image, print it out and put it on your fridge, put it in your office so that you can look at the long-term picture. This is what's going to happen. And that takes the fear away of, the fear. Sometimes people have fear, I must sell and I must buy back. It just takes that fear away. Now, there are coins that you want to play. The coins that are big coins, like for example, Bitcoin. You want to buy and sell Bitcoin constantly. You want to buy and sell Litecoin constantly. And with Litecoin, for example, let's say if you've got 1,000 Litecoin, you may not want to use all 1,000 Litecoin. You may want to trade with 400 Litecoin, 100 Litecoin, 20 Litecoin, 10 Litecoin, because you want to trade up and down. So there's not a blanket answer for everybody. It depends on your strategy. For example, let me give you this example. If you have 20,000 Litecoin, you can't sell all the 20,000 Litecoin. The exchanges won't allow you to do it. You can only sell 5,000 at any given time. So now what you need to do, you need to create 4 orders. 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000 to get rid of your 20,000. But the exchange, if the exchange is not liquid enough, the exchange that you are using, you won't get it sold because you've got too much. In that case, many of those people would decide, I'm only going to trade with 5,000 Litecoin. I'm going to buy on the bottom 5,000. I'm going to sell 5,000 on the top. Now, let's bring it down to if you have 40 Litecoin. Now, with 40 Litecoin, you may decide to leave 20 Litecoin in there and only trade the other 20. Easy to sell, very easy. And your whole goal will be to take the 20 and double that 20 to 40 Litecoin. And then you park that 20 Litecoin back again. Now you've got 40 Litecoin, you keep on trading the 20 Litecoin till you get bigger. Once you get 100 Litecoin, you might then decide to use 40 to trade up and down. Because remember, guys, many people that do this trading get caught out because they think they can do day trading. Let me tell you this, day trading is the quickest way to lose your money. For example, let's have a look here. Okay, many people would have probably bought there because that was a low point. I'm not talking about us now because we said the market was going to come down. But many people would have bought there. That's a technical indicator that the market is actually moving upwards. And we said, no, it's still going to move down. If you bought there, think about this now. Thinking the market is going to spike upwards because every analyst on YouTube says it's going to go up now. They got caught out because look what they didn't sell there. They thought it's going to break through. So they kept it while it was running down. And then it went lower than what they bought there. So they kept it. It went sideways, sideways, sideways. Guess where those people are now? The market dropped. Remember, we came out and we had that emergency call a day or two before, and the market dropped, and it dropped to this point. Look at where they are, guys. They're still not in profit. This is day trading. It doesn't work. You have to be very careful what you do. I can tell you now, for example, buy Litecoin now. That is a very low price for Litecoin. And remember, we even said that Litecoin could go into below 60, almost below 60. I actually had orders placed anything below 60. None of those orders got filled, but I got orders filled at 62. Guys, it's going to go to 120. You're going to double your money. If you're a millionaire and you take $1 million and you bought it here or buy it there now, there's a potential that you can make $1 million worth of profit. If you have $1,000, there's a potential you can make $1,000 profit. Anyway, Tertius, that's just quickly something there. I hope that answer is satisfactory.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Marius. Some folks are calling for Ripple. If you could go through the Ripple chart for us, and maybe Bitcoin Cash as well. I know you've discussed Bitcoin. I don't know if there's anything else to say on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin Cash and Ripple maybe as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll go through Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, and then Bitcoin quickly. Now, with Ripple, guys, you see all the activity on Twitter, social media, and everybody's calling for XRP to break out, and people are buying. But there's a tweet that I sent out, and people ask me, when are you going to buy XRP? And I said, I'm going to buy XRP when it reaches 21 cents. And then people said, yeah, but we're confused now. I thought you said we should buy XRP. No, I never said buy XRP. The right words were, it doesn't matter if you buy XRP now or it drops a little bit, because in the big scheme of things, it doesn't matter. It's going to go up and spike for 21 days. So whether you buy it now and simply hold it, it doesn't matter. So people just misunderstood that, and I just deleted the tweet because people didn't understand it. So what I'm saying here now is, at this point here now where it is 25 cents, we could see a move upwards to about 31 cents or a little bit higher. What you really want to see in this coin here is, let me just get the price level here. I want to see this, probably around about 100% gain. But whether that's going to happen now, I can't say. I can't say if that's going to happen. But our data does show that from this bottom that it goes up to about 31 cents and then it drops. The lowest point that it shows where it drops is 21 cents. Now I've got orders placed for XRP at 21 cents. Maybe it doesn't get filled, but I'm not going to do it now because of this fact, guys. Here we go. Litecoin. I first want to ride Litecoin up to this high point here, where I can make potentially a 96, 100% profit. Okay, it's going to drop again to this point here, maybe about $85, maybe 60, somewhere there. I'm going to buy back again there. You guys have seen my cheat sheet anyway. If you go to the blog post, it's written in blue. Litecoin, using some dollars to trade on the first high point for Litecoin, I will sell 100% at 104, 118 range. I sell and move into a stable coin. I place buy orders at $65. I will wait for the drop into 65 to 85. Then I buy Litecoin back. I ride Litecoin back upwards to 104, 118. Then I sell and exit all Litecoin. Remember, only the Litecoin that I trade. There's Litecoin that I hold long term. I don't mind selling that. This is only my kind of like day trading money, without saying it's day trading. I will then move the proceeds of Litecoin into Ethereum and Bitcoin, or XRP as well, or Digibyte. So I can split them up. But most likely what I will do is to move into Ethereum and Bitcoin. And then by the end of September, going into October, I will convert 90% of Bitcoin into altcoins, which means Digibyte and XRP. So that tells you that if you look at XRP, that I think there's going to be still momentum upwards. I'm looking for one more drop, whether that drops a little bit later, but there is some sort of a drop coming. Now, with regard to XRP, let me just say this. I just want to give you an alternative count here on XRP. It could be that it goes up like this, comes down one more time, spikes down, and then has a big move up like this. Okay, and then comes down. So that is an alternative count, and let me just make that a different color. This is something that we just picked up in this week, I think on Thursday, and I'm just going to make this red. Similar pattern, but we just have an extra spike here, which gives us about 107 actually. So that's a little bit low. It's about 107. So keep that in mind. That can also happen. But look, guys, whether you buy here where it's now, or whether you even buy here at that spike, I would actually like for this to break out like this, because when it comes down, we buy there. Then I know it's a confirmed uptrend. Because many people can get caught out as well. What if XRP does this and only breaks out later? That can also happen. So remember this. But what we are saying is it's very much due for a breakout. Now let's get into Ethereum quickly. Let's zoom out here in Ethereum. Was that the other one, Tertius, that you wanted me to go through?
I think it was Ripple, Bitcoin Cash.
Oh,
Bitcoin Cash
Bitcoin
was the
Cash.
other one, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys were asking about.
Anyway, Ethereum, you guys is due to break out. So that is not a big issue there. Let's go to Bitcoin Cash. Now, Bitcoin Cash is one of the things, you'll see a lot of FUD on Bitcoin Cash over the last week, where they say that this is a left shoulder, a right shoulder there, and that's your head. Now, what comes after a head and shoulders is actually it's a very big drop. And then it could do that and go up. But guys, that is basically, it's a prominent analyst who actually came out with this, and people ask me what do I think about it, and that is not going to happen, guys. This is not even a head and shoulders. Technically, it's not. If you really dive deep into it, and I don't want to go into the details of this, we do algorithm analysis. We barely use technical data. So let's move that out. Let's take it out. It's not a head and shoulders. It looks like one, but it's not. What's coming here, okay, remember that was the top there, and at 515. And I remember that top because I've got an emotional attachment to that top there. That was the top when Bitfinex stopped trading. And for 48 hours, nobody could access any of their coins on Bitfinex. And one of the sellers at that top couldn't. So we lost a lot of money there, and the market came all the way down and started dropping. But anyway, nonetheless, the market came all the way down. We've got this A, B, C correction here. Now, this C correction should have been a little bit lower than that one there. But remember what we said. We said that Bitcoin Cash is a very strong crypto. As a matter of fact, last week, I don't know where it is now, but think about this now, guys. In June, July last year, guess what the price of Bitcoin was? Bitcoin was 10,000. Guess what Bitcoin Cash price was? It was $2,000. Now think about this now for a second. Bitcoin is now about 10,000. Why is Bitcoin Cash not $2,000? It's because it's lagging behind almost 10 times the price of Bitcoin. It's going to catch up with the price. So Bitcoin Cash, man, you must hold it. If you buy 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 of these coins, guys, it's important that you hold it. We see a price target very quickly into this range here of about $2,000. So Bitcoin Cash, again, if this starts moving upwards, and you're going to see a change in direction very quickly within the next 24 to 30 hours, when this will go up, it could do this 100% move here. I don't think it's going to break the all-time high. It could come to this point here. It could be, and remember we haven't done that yet, it could be that when it comes to this point here, that it has a bit of a drop here before then goes up. So don't worry too much about these drops. That drop may be sideways till the end of this month, September. So it could carry on. See, there's October. So it could carry on here and drop a little bit, but then eventually it's going to break through. Once it breaks through this Python y-axis, that point there, nothing stops it. It's just going to go upwards. Now let's get into Bitcoin quickly. Now Bitcoin, what we did is with Bitcoin is, see this X move that we had here, that big strong move. The strong move in real terms should have looked something like this. You've got your X move, you've got your Y, and then your Z. Now, with this, what's happening with Bitcoin is something that we don't see in the algorithm data. It's not following the patterns that it's supposed to do. This tells me that Bitcoin is being heavily manipulated at this moment. We can see that because at this moment, go back and have a look at your exchanges. If you're on Coinbase, Bitfinex, and I can't, Bitstamp is the other one. The same wallets that keep selling Bitcoin, what they would do, you can actually see it this morning. They would sell Bitcoin at 1,000. If Bitcoin is 10,600, they would go and sell Bitcoin at 10,500. And as soon as the market goes to 10,650, they would sell some more at a lower price. So they're keeping Bitcoin low. And that has an effect on all cryptos. But what is happening is there's a move happening, a change happening. And this is why I say here in Litecoin, is that see this change? Where I say that something here is going to break out. The manipulation will be stopped. And for that to happen, now remember this, guys, for that to happen, for Litecoin to break through this, all these indicators all at once, if that happens, then my call is correct on this, that there's big manipulation in Bitcoin and that the market is rectifying itself. But for this to happen, something extraordinary must happen. Extraordinary. It may not be something that you visibly see, but something in the crypto world must happen. It's kind of like where sentiment wins. You know, if you look at the dark forces manipulating Bitcoin and you get your white forces trying to build up, and you can see that the white forces will eventually win. So let's go back to Bitcoin and have a look at this. The algorithm pattern, as I mentioned yesterday, must play out. Whether it plays out there or whether it plays out here or further or here. I believe that when all these cryptos now start moving, which I think, we're going to have another X, another attempt, and it's going to go the same height as this one. See that point there? You can literally go and put a horizontal line there, and then you can say what is the high point, and this is why we had the high point at about 12.3, 12.4, 12.5, because it's going to go to that top of 6 August 2019. And this pattern will just repeat itself. So you're going to have an uptrend there. You're going to have a pattern of advances. Again, something similar like this. Remember the pattern of advances, something like that. Then we're going to have the Y breakout, and then you're going to have the Z breakout. What I can tell you is that we are heading upwards. There's no more downside that we see. And remember last week on the webinar, the live webinars, we were saying that this 2B algorithm line, you know, remember it crossed over here, and that is the world's best indicator for cryptos, for Bitcoin as well. That will create a buffer zone as it goes up. And we don't see Bitcoin dropping below this pink line. That's just a line that we drew in there, just to give you an idea, just for visual purposes. So guys, expect a move upwards now in the next 24, 30 hours, maybe over the weekend into Monday, but it's going to have a move upwards to 12,000. At that point there, you want to sell maybe, because remember, it can come lower. Normally what happens, let me just move this away and I'll show you what really happens actually. Normally, indicators show this. If there's a breakout, so let's say we break up now and it goes like this, and it goes right to that line there. what is going to happen is that this will come back and test this line. It'll go like this before then breaks out again, and that'll be a Y. So you can see here that that one there is at 12,000. Now let me just put another one in here and give you this price label. That price label there could be about 11,000. So it could drop 1,000 points. So keep that in mind. Bitcoin will actually move up very strong. So in that sense, more or less follow the pattern here. Follow the pattern of Litecoin. This is what I also said yesterday. What you want to see is this. You want to see a move upwards in Bitcoin. It's then going to come back and drop. Now, let me show you just quickly something with regard to Bitcoin. Can you see these two lines here? And I'm just going to make them, sorry, I'm just going to make those lines a little bit thicker so that you can see what I mean. Okay. See those two lines, and I say that we're going to break out, come back down, and then shoot back up. Let's go and have a look and see where is that on Litecoin. More or less there, guys. See around about that? Now, see what I said is that Bitcoin breaks upwards into 12,500, 12,400, somewhere around there, that point there. The same high point as the 8 August. Where is that? Let's just go back. That one there was 6 August. Now June, July, there we go. There's high point here. So Litecoin is especially is most likely, and this is why I say, guys, remember this is 108. And this is the reason why I say in the blog post, what did I say there? That it's going to go to 104, between 104 and 108. Go back here, see that point there? That's 104, 106. And the highest is about 118, 120 to that point there. So we've got these 2 points as being the high point, somewhere there. And it coincides with Bitcoin. Bitcoin will do less percentage. Look at this, that's 96%. And then you look at Bitcoin, which potentially, if it does 50%, from there, it's up to that all-time high of 14,000. But look at this, it's going to do its normal 29 to 30%. See there? Remember, we've been saying that Bitcoin always rises in 30% terms from the beginning of the year. Remember the 29%, 29, 30, 29, 30 the whole time. That's what it rises. And that's why Tertius, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, let's just quickly get into this. Okay, let me just zoom out. This is the overall Bitcoin dominance. The market came down in your 5 waves. It's going up 5 waves, and the Bitcoin dominance is just about to drop. See that drop, ABC? Now, when Bitcoin drops, what happens with the altcoins is that the altcoins do this. They go the opposite way. So they go that way. Okay, this is why I say, guys, there's a big breakout coming. We use this data as well. So we're looking at this Bitcoin dominance. This is on the day chart. And you can see that Bitcoin is still outperforming, but it just came and touched that high point of 73%, Tertius. And guys, it may go to about 74, which is most likely, let's say, around about there. What is happening? Okay, Tertius, anyway, that is, it may go up to that point. But guys, it's going to do this. And bang, then it's going to go downwards. This is actually the best time to buy cryptos.
Marius, 2 things. One maybe for a next webinar. Guys were asking questions about, let me just get that coin's name. The other one is, the second thing, while I'm looking for that name, the second thing is, a while back you published a YouTube video on how to connect that Excel sheet to CoinMarketCap. One of the guys was saying maybe the team can have a look at those API links not working anymore. So that's just something. Electronium, perhaps that's something that's been in the news. I know it's not part of our top 40 yet, but maybe something for the future. If you could have a look at that one. A couple of folks mentioned that on the chat. We're not expecting you to obviously discuss it unless you know about it already, but maybe just for next week's webinar.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
And I think that's about it. Eh? You've kept to just over the hour. I know that you set yourself a target of keeping it within an hour, but there's a lot of information that we've had updating us during the week. So thank you very much for that. It's such a privilege to be part of this community, and a number of comments coming through that as well. So just thanking you and the team for all the work that you're doing and for sharing this information with us.
Absolutely, Tertius. I think let me just quickly finish here with Litecoin, just for those people who want to trade Litecoin. Now, remember, guys, this line here is the projected line. Remember, we said it's going to come down here, and then at that point, as soon as, let me just make it larger. I'm on the 4-hour chart. Remember, I said that Litecoin has broken the 22 MAE. It broke it there, and it went upward. That's when I said buy. Buy, get back in. Now, it's gone up here to this pattern here. Now, this is the low. I don't believe it's going to go lower. And I'm going to show you what happens here now. You're going to see that this 22 MAE in our data, it shows that this is the average movement where it goes. Now, the way I do it is we get figure points, like it shows 83, 88, 88, and it shows a time frame on the bottom, and then we just draw it in just to make it easy. It's actually very complicated data behind the scenes. But let me show you what is potentially going to happen here, just for those who trade. Okay, we are going to see a candle on the 4-hour that goes up like this. Maybe another one that goes there and then breaks upwards. But then what happens is there's another candle here that actually comes downwards. I can't draw it properly, but it comes down again. And if you miss the opportunity to buy here on the low, this is now getting into detail now. If you miss the opportunity to buy at 64, you're probably going to have the opportunity to buy here at the bottom at 65 again. Okay, so you can literally go and sell here at around about 70, come back here and put orders in here at about 65. The reason I'm saying this, guys, if you trade with 5,000 Litecoin, you can sell 5,000 Litecoin on the top there, come back and buy it at 65, and you have made a $25,000 profit. Now remember, this is only for people that are technically advanced. You need to know what you're doing here, guys. So I'm not saying do it. But then what's going to happen is after this drop, we're going to have a spike upwards again, like this. And that is going to be your sign that the big breakout is coming. And then you have a big move, and it just goes back right up into that point there. So that is what you can expect according to our data. Now, if you don't want to play this move by selling on the top there, selling on the bottom, you may sell at 69 and come and buy back at 66. That means you've got a $3 difference per Litecoin, but on 5,000 Litecoin, it's still 15,000. But that's only if you trade with a large amount of money, guys. I don't recommend people do it, but I just wanted to give that because somebody actually asked me earlier this morning, could I just discuss that? Okay, now for us, the average guy, we buy, we hold, because we've bought at 60, or you buy now, and you sell when it gets into the green box. Okay, guys, so I wish everybody good luck. Look, everything looks good. There's no major issues. May I also just say that this heartbeat, if the heartbeat finishes, remember there's your heartbeat. It goes like this, it goes like this, it comes back, and then it breaks out. Now, remember, guys, we We predicted that heartbeat, yeah, January, February. If that heartbeat plays out, trust me, there's big things coming. But I want to see this heartbeat. Anxiously, I'm actually anxiously waiting, Tertius. I want to see it.
Yeah, well, you've predicted this heartbeat probably about more than a month ago, 6 weeks about, and we've been waiting for it to play out, and it looks like it's happening, eh?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Guys, look, everything looks good. We were at the top there. The market came all the way down. This is that correction. Okay, now just have a look from that point there to this low point here. If you again have a look here at Bitcoin, the overall chart, the big view picture is that it's basically just that little drop there from that point there to that point there. But it devastated altcoins. Now remember this, don't sell your altcoins. Many people did. But what's coming next is that the altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin. Just give it another 30 days. Just wait. It may be quicker than 30 days, but just wait. You're going to see a big outperformance here. And hopefully everybody's going to be happy and make some money. Many times in this crypto trading is just that we have to be patient. Ask Wendy. She bought... yeah, Wendy's very patient. She bought Ravencoin, and she's waiting for Ravencoin to go up, and you've been waiting now 2 months. Yeah. So guys, it's going to come. And Wendy hasn't sold. She's not upset about anything there. She bought Ravencoin, and she's going to make a huge amount of money just by being patient. Remember this, the entire cryptocurrency world is designed for people to get emotionally distraught, lose faith, they sell, they take their little amount of profit left, and they go and sulk. We here at PythonSignals, we are strong, we're enthusiastic, we know the outcome. So we don't give up, and we don't let a little wind blow us over and say, oh, this doesn't work. Guys, the big money is going to be made. Look at this, how many people got out here on 10 December 2017, and they're still out of the market. If you bought there 20,000 Bitcoin and you still hold it, I mean, there's Bitcoin now 10,000. What does it matter if you still hold it? It's going to go past the all-time high, and then you're in profit again. And then it's going to go up 60, 70, 80,000. It's going to happen, guys. I see it. I see it in our data. Tertius, yeah, I hope that's all good, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Marius, thank you very much. Thanks to everybody, and thanks for the guys who are actively participating in answering some of the questions. Guys, this is your community, and I know we have some experts out there, expert traders. One of the guys is actually from Fidelity, he works at Fidelity. He's been helping us with comments. Guys, it's great to see you interacting with each other on the chat. And thanks to the guys for that. Always welcome to interact as questions are asked. So, Marius, from my side, that's it. Thank you very much. Good.
Awesome.
God bless to you and Wendy.
Thank you, Tertius. Have a great evening, guys, and thank you for being on the call. Have a blessed evening and a day. Awesome.
Bye-bye, Marius, Tertius, Wendy.
Thank you, guys. Awesome.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a great